out concepts, art, and I take that as a challenge to try to see how I can bring that into this world that we in. I feel like, God gives us all creativity and puts us on earth to show forth his glory and how great he is. And when I created my album and called it the album of the year and the mantra behind it, I knew it was going to be something that, number one, got people one or two reactions, which it did. It got people either they wanted to listen to it to see if it was truly the album of the year, or they wanted to listen to it to prove why it wasn't. But I knew either way they was going to listen to it. And at the same time, I honestly wholeheartedly do believe and stand behind it as the album of the year. We've had a lot of great hip-hop artists put projects out this year. I'm blessed to be able to say that the album charted on the hip-hop charts and did things that I've never thought the album would do. And I called it that as a revelation of our royalty, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of our bloodline with Christ, that it's not anything that when I say it's the album of the year, it's not me boasting saying that nobody else can make the album of the year, but it's understanding my position, and it's understanding, like, you know what I'm saying, what I have to give to the world, and that I put that out on the platter, and I've said, hey, I've created the album of the year because I've told my story, I've told the truth, I've told the gospel, and I put that out for you as the album of the year. So, man, it's been one of those things where it has been affirmed by a lot of people, and people have different tastes, but I've been grateful, man, for the response, and I really do believe it's the album of the year. It's been a lot of people who unfollowed me, people who didn't really get the mission, and already that kind of topic and that kind of mantra is set up to divide the fan base. I want to see who's really going to ride with me and dig deep and understand the mission and the message, and not get turned off because of things they don't understand. So the people who I have gained, I feel like are people who are committed to seeing this mission and this message go forth. And I feel like they've also understood when I meant the album of the year, I stand behind that. And, man, I believe I created the album of the year, man. And I'm grateful for anybody who agrees with me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's key what you said, that you are doing what God has put inside you, and you're doing that with excellence. And I agree with you. When you do what your God-given talent is with excellence, and you do it, and you push and you strive, then it is top quality. And that's what I think about this podcast that I do. It's like some people, and I don't rag on anybody, but some people can just get on a mic and start talking. For me, I have like 2 pages worth of notes. I'm like doing research. I'm doing this all week, and it's because I just believe God has put me in this position to bridge the gap between sports and Christ, or the gospel, or the truth. And I think when you push and you're doing it, you're going to say that it is the best, because it's quality. When you're putting out quality music,
and also,
you're putting out quality stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I feel like in the nature of hip-hop, if you don't believe that you can stand outside of your project and say, I put together a great project, a.k.a. the album of the year, I don't think you should put your project out. I don't think you should be rapping. Because if you're not willing to stand behind your craft with confidence, I definitely don't want to hear it. I want somebody who's going to be able to hand me a CD and look me in my eye and say, this is cold. And mean that, because you can feel that in the music. And I grew up with people who had that confidence, and even though in the church world they try to act like it's a problem when you're confident, I really feel like we're supposed to be confident, and I want to show that, if anything, for the people who feel like they're not allowed and they don't have license to be confident in who they are. I want to stand up on stages everywhere, and I want to stand up on platforms and be confident in who I am and be confident in the mission that I carry, man.
Definitely.
That's real.
Yeah, that's 100 right there. That's what it's all about. We are, as a believer in Christ, as a Christ follower, you are a conqueror. You are not a mouse. When you go up against the enemy, or when attacks come, we use the name of Jesus, and we are conquerors. And that goes to the point that when you put out music, or whatever you put out, you want it to be the best of the best. And you want to be able to say confidently, you need to hear this because this is dope. And I commend you on coming out with it because, like you said, it got people's attention. It got some people to rock with you. It got some people to turn away. And kind of comparing this, if you compare that to like Floyd Mayweather, he is a guy that people want to watch to either see lose or they want to watch to see if he can get this 50th win, which is what he's striving to do. And that boosts up this. That's going to boost up this fight even more. And I don't know if you're a boxing fan or if you follow Mayweather and what's going on with him versus McGregor.
Yep, definitely.
All right, so
yeah, man.
Yeah. So once again, talking to Cellus Hamilton, and I was checking you out on your Instagram, and you went on a trip to Ecuador. And I just wanted you to share, what was that like, and was that a mission trip that you were on?
Yeah, man, it was definitely a mission trip. It was one of my good friends, man. She is an amazing artist, amazing poet from Brooklyn, and so basically what she does, man, she travels. She's a missionary, so she travels all around, working with kids, working with adults, and she recently, because her family is from Ecuador, she recently went back after they've had a recent earthquake, just to kind of do some work rebuilding the city and some of the neighborhoods. And so with her being there and our relationship because of music, naturally she always was like, man, I want to bring you out and I want to be able to have you come out and do some missionary work and work with the people in the city. And so this was my first opportunity to leave the country and do some things music related outside of the country. And so I was extremely excited for it. And when I tell you, man, it was life changing. Dude, I grew, I was challenged, I was stretched. But overall, man, I feel like the people I've met, I learned a lot about our world. And I feel like I would encourage anybody to travel, man. If they've never been outside the States, they've never had the opportunity to leave their neighborhood, man, traveling is powerful. And it was an amazing experience, man, definitely.
Yeah, and through our church, they do a lot of missionary work. And actually some of our, my friends from church are in Honduras right now. And it's amazing the stories that they come back with. I haven't been on a trip yet, but that is my goal sometime in the near future to go, because I know it's going to change my life just from what you see, experience, and the difference in the world, the difference in where we live and where someone else lives outside of this country. I think we won't understand it unless we see it.
Yep, that's real.
All right, so
that is real, man.
Like you said, you're in Chicago right now, and you got a concert that you're going to be performing in on Saturday. So shout out to you on that opportunity. But also, what's next? What's next up for Cellus that the fans can be looking out for?
Man, so next, I would tell people, man, anybody who's been following me for a little bit of time knows that I am a person committed to giving quality in all aspects. So not just from the music, I want to give people quality visuals. I've been a person who's been opposed to rapping in front of your traditional graffiti background and changing clothes. I don't think that's dope. I don't think that's innovative. And when I put together music videos, as a fan of film, I want to give people something that they're going to watch over and over again, that you're going to be engaged with, that can tell a story, that can relate, that can give you feeling and emotion. And so I haven't dropped any videos yet because I've been putting together so much sauce for y'all, man, if I can say it that way. But
definitely,
I'm working on some stuff, man. And in the mantra of what we've been saying, we will call it the video of the year. But in time, man, I just want to continue just doing shows and just meeting people. Yeah, this is cool.
Definitely. And I was checking out the videos on YouTube,
Thank you, bro.
and there's so many dope videos on there on your YouTube channel. And it was one of them I came across, and somebody put a thumbs down. And I was like, what is wrong with this person? What is wrong with these 3 people that put a thumbs down on this video? Because it was, like you said, when you put out quality stuff, and that's why I respect also artists that they may come out with an album, one album every 2 years, but when they put it out, it's going to be that epic album that you've been waiting for. So everybody go to the YouTube page as well, Cellus Hamilton. Go check that out. A lot of dope videos on there. And make sure you go check out the YouTube, subscribe to it. A lot of great videos on there. So this is a sports show. What I always do at the end, I do ask, what teams do you follow? I know you're in the A. You spent some time in Chicago as well. So what teams do you follow, if any?
Oh, word. Okay, so I am definitely a big Bulls fan, man. Just naturally, just from my family being from Chicago, and I feel like that dynasty just being great naturally. I've always grown up being a Bulls fan. Even living in Atlanta, man. Sadly, our Hawks, they weren't as attractive.
Yeah.
They weren't as attractive, man. So I would go to Hawks games to support my Bulls. I'm a big Bulls fan. And I do like the Braves, even though I'm not one of those guys who can really, kind of run it to you about baseball as a whole. But I do like the Braves, and I like wearing the Braves fitted, and I like the feeling. I like the Braves. So as far as football, man, this is gonna be funny to you. I'm a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan.
What?
How
does that work?
I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and my dad is a Chiefs fan, and we grew up watching the Chiefs. And I pull for my Chiefs, bro. I love my Chiefs, man. So that's funny to me. But yeah, mainly, man, the Bulls and the Chiefs, I say I ride for. And I just like sports in general, man. I boxed for 3 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I like boxing. And man, I like sports. I've never been a good stats guy to be able to run it down, but I like my teams, man. I rock my team's gear, and I support them wholeheartedly, man.
Definitely. Man, I didn't know you were a boxer. That's interesting. That's another thing I learned about you today. So with that being said, with you boxing, who do you see winning this upcoming fight? And what's your thoughts on it? And this is the Mayweather Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah, man. So I do think that I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like this fight is definitely racially charged. We're just given the climate of our nation and world right now.
Definitely.
I personally feel like Mayweather is dynamic because he really is a smart fighter. I feel like he has his defense. I feel like I think he's going to really fluster McGregor, and I feel like it's going to be one of those things where it could become a dirty fight where he tries to maybe kick, maybe do something because he's frustrated, because as far as with you not being able to use anything other than your hands in boxing, you can't hang with Mayweather because this is what he does. He uses only his hands. So out of frustration, I feel like it could be one of those things where it's like maybe some illegal moves go down, and that could be something that I really feel like could be a thing. And I was, and me feeling like in the way this fight would go, I would hope to see Mayweather win. I feel like that would be an attempt to really fluster him. And if he's as smart as he's always proven, he'll be really composed. But I do feel like it will be one of those things intentionally done to throw him off his game plan and maybe make some things shift. But I feel like if they straight box, he doesn't stand a chance. But I feel like if you throw in some little cheap shots, maybe some kicks, maybe some slick, who knows what, we never know what we might see here. And I think it's going to be a really interesting fight, man. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be extremely interesting because neither one of these